Okay, ladies, we had an episode a little bit ago where I was telling you the universe was just pushing me out of my comfort zone. And this is what happened. Backstory is it was to do with a lawyer and hired
Mm.
them for my stepmother. So my stepmother was the client, but I was paying for it all. And she did not communicate with them at all. It was all through me. And we had a retainer, we had an agreement, and between the time we stopped talking just because we hadn't sold the house, 3 or 4 months later, that same lawyer has now gone to a new firm. The old firm is broken up. It's just, and we have no idea any of this. And I'm now getting a bill for $4,200. And I was like, this just isn't right. So, like I said in that episode, it wasn't that I chose to do this to for me to get out of my comfort zone. It was kind of the universe saying, Tracy, are you gonna stand up for yourself? And I did. And I took them to um, the local law society here, which I'm still working on because they take forever. And I let them know after all my communication with them of what they've done wrong. I let the law firm know that I had taken them to the law society, and they came back to me and said, "It's okay. We've got rid of your complete bill." They
So
didn't
did they?
communicate that. And it was only when I said, I've taken you, I've
Yeah,
filed a complaint against you, did
yeah.
they come back and say, well, yours is off the books. They still have not sent me anything to show prove that, but I thought, oh, okay. So thank you, universe.
But
Because the result was, and I don't want to say yes, I was right, but I was listing what we had agreed
Mhm.
on, and it no longer happened. So, so anyways, I'm very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think they agreed to it because you took them to the association, or do you think they were leaning that way?
Before I had said if we can't come to a compromise here, because I was willing to pay some of it, we can't come to a compromise, I will take you to the law society. They did not come back to me after that. And I
Mm.
gave them another week waiting. And then I just went and said, forget it, and um, filed my complaint and then said, just for your information, you do now have a complaint against you. And that's when they came back and said, we've written off anything to do with your the amount that we figure you owe us.
Are they still the lawyer you need to complete your
No, no,
transaction
no,
with?
no, 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 no. We
Oh.
have walked away from both firms,
Mm,
the old
mm.
firm and the no, like no, because the lawyer I felt didn't stand up for me and say, hey, yeah, that's, this is what we did agree on. So no, no. So yeah, so sometimes because what that did was made me feel really good because I documented everything. So I felt very confident in what where I was coming from. And
Yeah.
even if I didn't get what I wanted, I felt confident that I went, you know what? This is the right thing to do. And then when that came in, I went, okay, so, there is reasons you should kind of second guess yourself in like, should I sweep this under the rug? Should I just let this go? Because I don't want to be
Right,
fighting everything and I don't want to challenge
right.
everything.
Right.
But sometimes if it's kind of tickling at you, I think you need to do it.
Yeah, I like it. I love this for you. Congratulations. I love it that um that you felt you had this confidence like
Yeah.
this, like your
Hmm.
shoulders went back,
Yeah.
your head went up high, and I know you only as a very confident woman, but I think sometimes we see things and we're like, ah, man, this isn't my forte. I don't
Yeah.
really want to do this. And you're like I think we talked about in that episode, you were like, I don't know, but just this doesn't feel right.
Mhm.
and asking that question, because we talked about in past episodes advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
Because me for the doctors, just different things. And for you,
Mhm.
this was the exact same thing. You were advocating. You were like, explain this to me. No, this doesn't mean here, here,
Yeah.
and here. And you were only
Sorry, and just
asking
on
very,
that note, is by going through the process, it built upon the confidence, right? So
yes, yes,
the
Yes.
confidence kept building and building
Yeah.
and which was uh, in its own, like that was a very lovely lesson for me from the universe.
right,
Mhm.
right. That's what, yeah, because I felt that same thing with my doctor when he kept trying to push the medication on me. And I'm like, no, I don't need it. And getting the test and getting the backup that, nope, you didn't need it. This was right. And a follow up to that follow up to your follow up, I have a new, I'm seeing a new doctor on October 22nd. I found a doctor. I'm not seeing her. Of course, I'm seeing the physician assistants. But this gentleman is the exact same as they all do the type of care that I'm looking for. So I'm excited about that to close out one chapter and do like you, go to find what meets my needs,
Hmm.
you
Awesome.
know? Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I go to that end of October.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I do think though by doing, because we've talked about this before, there's talk and then there's
Hmm.
the action. And the
Hmm.
action created more confidence, which created more
Yes.
action, which created more confidence, which created more
Hmm.
action. And so it's just this little area over here, but it just really proves when you act on it, whatever acting is, whether it's, getting a new doctor or not, it does give you the confidence to keep doing those type of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Confidence is never first. It's always second. You have
It-
to take action
Yeah.
always in order to get confidence.
Yeah.
yes, I remember Miss Tracy, you giving us a class on that. You gave us a class on how action leads to confidence.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
it's true because a lot of people think, well, when I'm confident,
yeah,
then I will do this. And I think that's from a previous episode that we just did, it's like that's a classic example of that. It's like when I have the confidence, then I'll take action and do this. And it's like
yeah,
action is going to lead you to the confidence. It's like
yep,
motivation.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's rarely ever that you are motivated enough to keep going. It's the action that comes with the motivation that keeps you going, like exercising and things like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, something
That
you
can,
must, sorry, there's something like, oh, I'm going to go back to school when I have the confidence. Well, if you go back to school, that gives you the confidence
Yeah.
that's
going
right.
back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I walk in the gym when I feel confident and I work
Yeah.
out all the time, but I've always done home. Like for the last 10 years, it's always been home. And last year I went to a gym, but now I have to go to a different gym for different reasons. But I'm filled with that anxiety again. And the action was one day last week, I just called them. I'm like, can I come in and sign up? I didn't even think about it. Like I had like just like I forced myself like without thinking. Sometimes you do things without putting too much thought into it, you know? And so you went and like you said, Tracy G, you did that action and it gave you confidence. But then you're like, nope, I'm going this action. Nope. So this confidence kept building to the point where you were like, no, they're really not meeting my needs and I'm taking them to the association. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you know? And that's what I mean. So, and we just did an episode, I'll do it when. Well, I'll do it when I have confidence. You're not going to do it without action. I'll
Mhm.
do it when I'm motivated. That's not going to happen either. Action is the only thing that leads to the both to those two things. Congratulations, Miss Tracy.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
But one of the problems was their communication. And I thought,
Yeah,
how ironic that the communication at the end is you couldn't even tell me that you had
yeah.
written this off, that you didn't even communicate that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's just like the doctor didn't call me to tell me I didn't need the meds.
yeah, yeah. Okay. That's
I
kind
knew
of part of,
previous. I
healthcare,
knew
communicating about
right.
healthcare.
I knew 3
Mhm.
days later, and they called me a month later. So no,
I know.
no.
Tony Robbins famously says, the quality of your communication is the response you get. And
Hmm.
that, Tracy, is a perfect example. The quality of their communication was the response that you gave them. I've sent a complaint to the Law
Oh,
Society.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it
Yeah.
like
right.
really, yeah.
And the thing that really gets me about that is that's their job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah,
a very big part of their job. As
yeah.
the client, that's not really my job.
No,
I
no,
just got to tell you the
no.
problem is in, but that's your job. And it's like the doctor.
yeah,
You're the patient. You don't know
yep,
everything about
Yeah.
the medical field. That's your job. So that's the stuff that blows me away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And
The
that
pre
also makes me feel like in their organization, I'm not worthy. They don't find me as a worthy client. And you might be, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but what your needs are might be smaller than some of their bigger clients.
mhm.
But I learned so much, and I know both of you will understand this. It's the smaller clients that sometimes you pay the most attention to because when they grow, you're going to grow with them,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? And so I would treat every client I had, every customer I had the exact same. So,
Well,
but
and just on that note, this was the one part. Then there was the house transaction, which is another lawyer fees. Then there was the new trust agreement that I wanted them to do, which was another fee. Like, so it was like you just got rid of two to three transactions that could have been
Yeah.
yours had you just
yep,
gone back and doing your job. It's just
Mhm.
whatever.
Which makes you, you know, what's interesting about that is it makes you wonder how many people don't let the universe put them out of their comfort position and just pay the $4,200 and
Yeah.
then go somewhere else.
And I
yeah,
think what Michelle said too about the value, because that's where,
yep,
who, again, who am I? Who am I? I'm not the lawyer, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and I think a lot, Tracy. I think a lot.
So, what do you think of Miss Tracy's update on her comfort level? Do you think the universe pushed her out of that comfort zone? We think so, and we think she did great. What do you think? Put it down in the comments. Share this with somebody who you think needs to hear it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like if this episode resonated with you, and make sure you hit the notification button so you know when our next episode comes out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.